Okay, I prepared myself. I don't do fly by the seat of your pants with time constraints very well. Although I wish I had more time because I could just go on and on and on about how much I love Kristi. And I have. Okay, I was chosen to speak on Kristi's youth ministry mostly because I am the oldest of the church children. That's pretty much the only reason.
No.
Kristi used to refer to me as the CCB prodigal daughter, although I'm not prodigal any longer. Since I came to this church 7 years ago, I've had my own little boy, and at 25, I struggle with my growing up. But with a guide like Kristi on my side, I'm not worried about whether or not I will survive, though that was not always true. I met Kristi shortly after I turned 19. I was a speaker at a graduation ceremony for the Stepping Stones program at Kenyatta College, a program designed for at-risk youth where I was a student and Kristi was an instructor. Though her class had been recommended to me, I wasn't really interested in anything taught by a Christian minister, and we had never met. I might note here, though, that I was warned that she wasn't really like a normal minister. An autobiographical vignette I had written during the semester was distributed amongst all those gathered at this graduation. At this time in my life, I was very troubled, to say the least. I was outrageous and purple-haired and pierced and opinionated and crass and very, very angry. But this vignette I had written was a close, intimate look into what it felt like to live in my skin. And unlike most of my work at this time, it had a lot of hope, and I was very proud of what I had done. After the ceremony was over, a woman with this flaming red hair on her head and real tears in her eyes came up to me holding my vignette and told me that it was the most amazing thing she had ever read. That Sunday I was in church. 3 weeks later, here I was in the pulpit. And that was that. That's sort of how CCB is, kind of hook, line, and sinker. Now with the how I got here bit done, I have to do the why. I was a young woman that was lost and disillusioned and misguided. Kristi came to me at a time when I was most positive I should have died already, and I spent most of my energy on self-destruction as a result. But still I kept searching for something. Something kept me alive. I remember Kristi coming to see me for the first time and sitting on the porch with me. She asked me very simply, "So what's your story?" I laughed at her because that was the most straight to the point, no nonsense, and complicated question she could have asked. And that's part of what drew me to her. From day one, Kristi was my mother. Both of us have begrudgingly accepted this fact over the many years we have been in each other's lives. We now both laugh and roll our eyes because it has been what I call a painful dedication so much of the time. It isn't easy being young in this time and in this place. And it isn't easy to watch a young person grow up, especially a young person such as myself. What do you do with an angry, indignant, willful, rebellious, creative, vibrant, talented young person hell-bent on death, except wait for them to grow and pray that they survive the process? You know what Kristi does? She offers me brutal honesty. She calls me on the carpet. She refuses to accept anything less than what my best is because she knows what I'm capable of. And when I fall short, she tells me she loves me and gives me a hug and reminds me to breathe and make better decisions next time. Wouldn't you use many of those adjectives I used to describe my young self to describe Kristi? Rebellious, creative, vibrant, talented. Now we're done with me, and this is the part where it gets fun. Why don't we add a few more? Cultured, scholarly, nurturing, understanding, courageous, poignant, expressive, empathetic. Should I go on? Why not? When will I get another opportunity to so effusively and publicly show my love for such a wonderful woman? Kristi is fiercely loyal, unwaveringly dedicated, unendingly forgiving. She is everything I aspire to be as a woman, as a mother, as a spiritual being and a child of the universe and a woman of God. Once Kristi was me. And perhaps I can become a shred of what Kristi is when I am a grandmother. I will be happy. She inspires me. She makes me want to be a better person, and I am for having had her to stand by me. I love you with all my heart and soul, Kristi. Happy anniversary, oh spiritual mother of mine.